Hi, so today I'm just going to show you my very basic everyday makeup foundation routine that will give you a really nice dewy glowy appearance. So I've already moisturized my skin and applied SPF sunscreen. So first thing I'm going to do is apply the Hydra Beauty Flash. It's quite a thick consistency. And you can sort of see it's just got a little bit of a glow and a shine. It smells lovely. It's got a very, I don't know, it's like a rose sort of smell. It smells very sort of old-fashioned skincare almost. On top of this, just so I get a really nice glow coming through, I'm going to apply the Chantecaille Liquid Lumiere Anti-Aging Face Illuminator in Brilliance. Now this is one of my favorite products. It's amazing as a highlighter, but it's also stunning as an all-over glow underneath your foundation. I mean, you can see that just shimmery gold look. So I just apply that all over after my primer and rub it in. So you can see now I've got that shine. Once we apply our foundation, it's just going to turn into this lovely light glow. Now today I don't really want a full coverage look. I just want something light, easy to eat every day that's relatively good for my skin. So I'm going to be using the Chantecaille Future Skin in Ivory. I just love this foundation. It's so light, so easy to use. So I'm going to apply this with a really nice densely angled face brush. This one is Dior number 12. And I'm just going to dip this brush straight into the bottle because it's sort of a gel-like consistency. And then I'm just going to stipple it all over my face. Now, some people love this foundation and some people hate it. I don't think it builds up to a super high finish, but once I put my powders on top of it, I tend to get a good medium coverage out of it. I mean, you can see the difference there. It's a beautiful finish. It's very, very skin-like. It applies really, really smoothly. It smells really good. I do find that this is one of the most natural looking foundations I've ever found. Like when I put it on my skin, before I put my powder on, it honestly looks like I'm not wearing anything at all. And you can see it's done a pretty good job at covering that little zip there and the redness around my nose and the freckles. So I'm just going to go back in and apply a little bit more in my problem areas, which is just around my cheeks where I tend to go quite red, and just around my nose, over the bridge of my nose really. I do find that this foundation applies really well with a brush, but to get that perfectly flawless finish, I always go over my foundations with a damp beauty blender. We're just going to press it in lightly all over the skin, and you can see that just gives it that beautiful skin-like finish. You've just got the most flawless skin finish. You can still see some of my freckles coming through, but once we're finished, they'll disappear pretty well. I'm going to go under my eyes with the RMS Beauty Un-Coverup in shade 11. RMS is a fantastic brand. It's very, very organic and natural. This concealer glides on incredibly smoothly. It's made from coconut oil. Anyway, I apply it with my finger because I find that I can get the best finish under my eyes. Now this is a really light foundation, so when I've got really big bags or I want super full coverage, it's definitely not the one I reach for, but on a daily basis I find this is just fantastic. It's such a beautiful finish and it looks gorgeous on. This is my no makeup look. I just put a little bit over the bridge of my nose because that's where I tend to get the most freckles, which I want to hide. Have a look at the finish here. Like, you can see that under my eyes is just, it doesn't look like I'm wearing anything. It's completely flawless. It doesn't show my pores up or anything. Now we're just going to go over this with a powder. So I'm using the Stila Illuminating powder in shade 30 Watt. So I love this powder. I use it for everything. It's really light, so it sets under my eyes incredibly well. Under my eyes, I'm just going to go in with MAC 236 fluffy brush and set under my eyes. To get that slightly fuller coverage, I'm actually going to use my beauty blender. So it's just slightly damp. I'm going to wipe it into the powder, just get it on, and press that into my foundation. So this is going to give me that slightly fuller coverage that I'm looking for. This powder gives a lovely glow. It's really light, and I just find the finish is so velvety. It's definitely one of my favorite powders out there. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in medium with MAC 168 angled contour brush. I'm just going to take the middle color there, just very lightly give it a tap, and contour from the top of my ears very lightly down towards my mouth. Now I do little circular motions because I find it blends it out as I go and I get the most smooth finish. It also doesn't shift my foundation, which is an issue that I find if I press too hard or blend too long. Now my right side is, my cheekbone's not as high or defined, so I scoop this one to create that rounded look in my cheek that I have on the other side. I'm just going to go around and contour up by my hairline. I'm also going to just bring this down my neck, which is quite pale at the moment. This is to get my foundation to sort of match in. I mean, my foundation matches my neck pretty well, my chest pretty well, but my neck's just a little bit on the pale side. So that's looking better. Now, because I'm going quite natural today, I'm going to use the Dior blush in Glowing Gardens. This is a lovely, lovely pink. It's really nice and light on the skin. It does come with a brush, but I almost never use it. My favorite brush for applying blush is the Stila 21. It's a massive, massive fluffy brush with quite densely packed bristles. So I just pat it in, give it a little tap, and I stipple my blush on. And I sort of start in the middle of my cheek, go round and up towards my hairline. So I'm applying this just above where I've contoured. You can see that's just a beautiful rosy glow. Now, because I'm not going anything too intense today, I'm going to apply my Diorskin Nude Air Glowing Gardens highlighter This is just sort of a nice, slightly pinky champagne sort of glow. So I'm going to go back in with my MAC 233 brush and just apply that to the top of my cheekbones and around under my eyebrow as well. So I just want a nice subtle glow today. I'm not doing anything too intense. This is my favorite highlighter when I'm wanting a subtle glow. It just gives that little shine without being too intense. So I'm not a big fan of highlighting on the nose. I'm definitely a fan of highlighting the Cupid's bow though. And I tend to go a little bit more intense there. Now I'm going to chuck my finishing powder on. I tend to do this before I do my eyeshadows. So today I'm going to be using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Ethereal Light. So I love this powder. It's very, very pale, but used sparingly, it just gives you a lovely diffuse finish and a really beautiful glow. And I'll apply it to one side of my face first so you can see the difference it makes. Now I'm just applying this with the, I think it's the MAC 103, maybe the MAC 133. It's the big fluffy face brush. Now I just apply this in light circular motions all over. Now you can see there, it's just sort of diffused everything out, taken away some of that shine, but given me a really, really pretty glow. So it also gives me a flawless finish. Now you can see now, it's much more of a medium coverage. It's hidden most of my freckles, but I've still got that beautiful finish, especially under my eyes. I always just get this little crease there, but it's got a beautiful skin finish to it now. And I've still got relatively good coverage. So I'm just going to do my eyes. Now I'm using the Mariah Carey I'm That Chick You Like eyeshadow palette by MAC. This was a limited edition. Now when I'm doing a more intense look, I do use an eyeshadow primer, but when I'm doing my everyday thing, I don't really bother. So I'm just going to pat that all over the lid. Now this is the colour Whenever You Cool. It's a really lovely golden glow. It's one of my favourite colours for all over the eye. And I just applied that with a MAC 242. To do my crease, I'm going to use the next colour over, which is a nice light brown. It is called Can't Escape Me. And I'm going to apply that with MAC's 217 dense blending brush. I'm just going to apply that in the crease and blend it out. I'm also going to apply it into the V. This is a really nice transition colour because it's so warm but still really, really light. Now because I'm just doing a really simple everyday look, I'm not going to go too intense with my eyes. I'm going to keep the colours quite light. Now I just want to intensify my V. So I'm going to go in with Golden Petals Scattering, which is just this medium dark colour here. It's a really nice frosty brown, so I'm just going to apply that just in my V to darken that up a little bit and give it a bit of a light smoky look. Now I'm going to go in and blend all of this out with MAC 224, which is my favorite blending brush for overall blending. So I'm just going around the edge to blend that in and blend it out. Just underneath my eye, I'm going to apply that same colour, but I'm going to use the MAC 214, which is quite a dense little brush. This is a limited edition one. Because it's white, it was a Christmas edition, but the brush does come as a standard. Well, this is my favourite brush for applying under my eyes. I'm just going to bring that up and into my V slightly more intensely to give it that slightly sharper defined line. In my waterline, I'm going to apply the Gigi Hadid eyeliner in Nude. I really like this liner. I do find it quite creamy. It just brightens my eyes slightly. Now for my brows, I'm just going to use the MAC Eyebrows Crayon in Lingering. I really like this one because it is retractable. So I'm just going to go in with really light feather strokes. I have had my brows tattooed, so I don't need to do too much work on them. They're just at a point where I should be going back and getting them done, but due to the pregnancy, I won't be doing that until after I've had the baby. So I always get my brows done by a fella at Eyebrows in Auckland, New Zealand. She's pretty much booked out permanently. I think her wait list last time I spoke to her was 8 or 9 months, and I'm not sure she's taking on new clients, but if you can get in, she is amazing. So I love this colour because it's just really, really light and natural on me. I'm going to be applying the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara in black. I really like this mascara. It's super light and just makes my lashes so perfect. It's definitely my favourite mascara at the moment. So you can see I've just gone for a really, really light eye look today. So I'm going to finish this off with a Rouge Dior lipstick in 417 Souffle Nude. Now this is just a very light pinky nude colour. It's my go-to nude. And I'm just going to finish all of this off with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And then we have a very nice natural makeup look that's just got a beautiful glow, a natural finish, and it's great for everyday wear.